Hi friends, what's this Tkinter window? There are several inputs here. I can enter the name. So let me enter one name here. Then I can from this menu I can pick up the class, belong to one class. Then some mark can be number. Then I can select the gender here. So anyone will do, and moment I add it, it will be stored in the our Excel table and a row number is returned to me, and now it is ready for the next one. We can add one more. Name is say Jack, then class is instead of 4 let's put 3, and here mark, then gender, then we are adding. So see, the next record is ID is 2. So and it is now ready for the taking the third input. So like that we can take data from a Tkinter window and store it in a Excel table. Here is a concept to understand. This is our graphic user interface, whatever Tkinter window we have developed, and whatever the inputs we take from here, that actually passes to Python, and from the Python we then transfer it to Excel, CSV or MySQL, SQLite or any other database. So this is Tkinter is a interface only. It cannot directly handle data, and bypassing Python it cannot be used to MySQL or SQLite or any other thing. So for that purposes, the same script whatever we develop now can be used for storing the data in the MySQL or SQLite or anywhere else, and that part will also understand. We'll start from here. This is a blank template we have used. We have imported Tkinter here, then we have used a window. So its width is 400 and height is 250, and from in this blank window we'll add our components and then we'll connect to Excel. So before working on the window, we'll first start using our openpyxl library, because we will be handling our Excel files. So for that I am saying from openpyxl, from this import, what you will importing is load workbook, because now we are handling a existing notebook, means it's a blank Excel file. We have already have that one. Now let's just create a path where it is the file is in equal to, it is in my case this is in this particular location. You will, in your case this may be anywhere, even based on your system you can change that. So student, I am giving the name xlx because this file, blank file is exist already, so I am giving it path file. Okay, fine, this has come the my file path, and then what I will do is I will create the workbook from here. So workbook or wb equal to load workbook, and file name equal to path, I am specifying, and read only, it is false because I am going to enter the data here. So my workbook is ready. Now what happened inside the workbook, because in Excel we call it worksheet, so one worksheet has to be there. So I can work on a default worksheet what initially presented, or I can create one. So let's just ws.wb.active. So whatever the active worksheet is there, this equal to wb.active. Whatever the active worksheet is there, work on that. Suppose you want know already I have a worksheet in that, then you have to mention the, or you can create a new one, or create sheet. So that you can, we will not go for that, we will just work on the active one. So that's all. This is what it gives me, the Excel file is ready. Now my interface will come. Let's here we will add the components here. So I'll just paste all the code here. These are all my buttons, entry buttons, labels and all, and one options are there, and option menu is used here. So this is only the components I have just stored in the in our window. So added to the window. I am just saving this and running. This should no functionality will be there. So here it is. So this much, all this is a label, the one input, one again label, then this is the option menu with 3 options I have taken. You can add more also, and 3 radio buttons to select the gender you can be used. Now I can add the record, but nothing will happen now because we have not defined the functions here. just see here the add data. Once this button is clicked, then the add data function is triggered. That function will write now. So once the button is clicked, then this function will be executed. Define add data. Now inside this function, first we'll set a flag. Why we are setting the flag is this flag based on the whether the user has correctly given the data. Say in the mark column it has to be integer, so no string is there. So based on the what user, we'll set this flag to true or false, and then we'll at the end we'll evaluate it. So flag validation, you can give any name. We are just giving flag validation. We are setting it initially to true. Now what happens when it will become false? Just next line will say my name. What is my name? My name is what is the name column entered here. You can see at the top where it is label. The name label is there. Then by the side of it, my underscore w, T1 is our entry for the name. So for that, we'll say here my name is the variable we are setting, T1.get. Get right from the all the data we are taking. So 1.0 from here, right from the starting till end. Sorry, this should be outside. So we got the read the name entry box. Similarly, what is the class? Equal to options.get. What is options here is the menu button, whatever you have used at the top. The top you have used our menu, option menu is here, option OPT1, this particular one. The options are given here. So based on these options, we will be collecting which option is selected by the user. So option.get. Then we'll say this read class. Now after this, my mark. What is the entered mark? So T3.get. Now again same, right from the beginning 1.0 till end. So all the data will come to my mark. Then my gender, that is the radio button, what you are going to get it. My gender equal to now radio underscore v. This is the variable we have set it dot get. This is a string variable we have used. Now we'll write it read gender. So what the user has selected. Now here read mark. So all these all inputs, whatever it is user has seen, we are ready. Now let's just find out what is whether the correct inputs has entered or not. So for that, we'll say here it is, if we say len my name, means we are finding the length of the name entered is less than 2, means only one character, suppose if it is entered, or len my class is less than 2, that means no class is selected, or len then my gender is less than 2. Any one of the thing is matches, then that means the inputs are not correct. So for that, what you will do, flag validation equal to false. So the flag validation is completed here. Now what we can do is, why we are doing it is, if flag is used, suppose you want some other validation to be used, that also can be included here. Now one more thing is there. So this is the conditions where our flag will be, validation will be checked. Similarly, now let's just this is fine. Now once it is, now we'll go for a try exit block. Now what happens if any of the thing is became false? Now what I will say, L5 config. L5 is the label which is right side, which gives the message, that I am setting certain parameters here. FG equal to, or foreground, the font color, because it's an error, so I am setting FG equal to red, and L5 config. Now what I am saying, bg or background equal to yellow. Why I am saying is I will display a error message here. So L5, sorry, this should not be comma, this should be dot. Fine, now that is over. Then my str, this is connected to this particular L5, and I will set the value to this is, I will give a message is check inputs. That's all. So what happens, this is the message I can give. Now up to this point also I can check it. Let's just run this and see whether, yeah, it has come up here. Now what I will do, I will not enter anything and I click here. So now if then else part is there. We missed validating our mark input, which is a integer. Say user enters other than an integer, we must validate that and use. So for that we'll use try. I am using try. Now what's the value? I am just setting it to a variable. This is actually the checking whether it is generating any error message or not. Here I am saying my mark. So my mark is the mark entry. So I am saying checking mark as integer. I am just checking that part whether it is beyond 100 or not, my full mark. That those part we are not doing anything here. That you can add up. That is the purpose we have used the flag concept. So try, then except. Now in the except part, suppose if it is not an integer, then the except part will be executed. Here I am setting flag validation equal to false. Now what happens once this is done? Then I will at the end here once again I will say if you want more validation to be done, it should be more than 50 or more than 100 or whatever. You can go on setting the flag accordingly. One more check, set the flag to false, you can continue. So that is the reason why you use a flag. Now what we will do is we will write this if condition, not to this if condition. We will writing one more if condition to check the flag status. If flag validation, that means flag is true. Then what we will do? We'll right now here actually our code for inputting to Excel file will go, but right now we are not doing that. We are just saying data to Excel. It prints to the console right now. Subsequently we'll change that. Otherwise what it should do is it should do all this thing. Else part whatever is there, that it should do. Now let's me just save this, run once and see how this comes up. Here, what's this here? I am not entering anything here. What's the console? I am entering. Nothing has come up because now it is asking me to check the inputs because I have not fulfilled. So I am, let me just add some data here. Now class I will select one because these three checks are there. So here also I am giving some marks. So the integer try except that also is cleared and gender is by the way it is selected. So I am just entering it. So here you read it at the bottom left, you can see data to Excel is printed. That means our validation is cleared. If I remove anything from here, I will remove this, suppose this one and add record. So the check input. But what has happened is this check input of previously what was displayed remains because that we are not removing. That also we'll add now. We'll pass our data here to our Excel file. So for that I am creating a list using the data what we have. L1 equal to first my name. This is what we got it at the top. Okay, let us just see. Here it is all the my name, my class, mark, gender, everything. So here I am just using those variables and creating a list here. So next is my class. This will tell me which class. Then what's the mark? Then I will say my gender. So these four variables I have used and created the list. And this I will say ws.append L1. That's all. This does all the job for me. And one more thing, next line, what I will do is my workbook, I will save it. Path, what is path is I have declared at the top. This ws is worksheet. Here all the declarations at the top. You can see here it is. So this is my load workbook. The path I have, it is kept is in my system. It's a student 7, the file name I have given. So this is already a existing one. So the file is existing and this and worksheet is active worksheet. Whatever is there, I have used that one. I am saving this. Now what happens? Let's just run this once. Use some name here. My first. then I'll pick up a class 4, then 66, let's say mail, I'll change the radio button, add record. Now nothing happens, but how I will know this record is stored or not? Let me close this. Let's add here L5. L5 is the label where you want to give the message. Then after means this is a timer, you can say. It takes the inputs in milliseconds. So I am giving 3000 millisecond. That means 3 seconds. 3 seconds. What it should do is lambda. It should execute this code what I am writing now. Now here I am saying that L5 again config. Config means any parameter I can change config. Now what I am going to do is fg equal to white, foreground make it white. Sorry, I cannot use white. Then background, foreground means font color, that means it will remove the text. Okay, background equal to again white. Then I am then I am saying text equal to blank. So remove all the text, change everything to reset to back to the normal. So where I missed something, after 3L5 config fag bg fg bg text, this I will config, this is fine. Then L5 after, so that should go. Why I am missing 3000? It is second lambda L5 dot. Sorry, here I have to give dot, right? So this is now, you can check this also. Let's just run this once. Here it is. Now I will say add record without doing anything. Check inputs. After 3 seconds, this should vanish. Fine. Now let me just, okay, now no message will come because we are not putting anything. If I fulfill all the requirements here and giving the mark as this thing, set it to mail, then add record, nothing will come, but only in the console you can see here data to Excel is printed. Here is the inside the data directory, I have this file student7 and it was already existing. So in that I am opening it now. You can see here is the whatever data we have entered now, this is stored here, it has gone here. But here one issue may come that you may try to create a new file and push the data. For that, the 2 lines at the import level you have to change it. That we will discuss. One more thing is here also. Suppose many times you will find that the first row, the first column will contain a incremental number. We call it as ID or some, you call it student ID or my registration ID, which is a incremental number. Suppose I ask every record user inputs, that incremental ID also should automatically come, and that ID we should display it onto the users. That is a confirmation that our data has gone to our Excel file. That what we will be displaying, and that is the required, because otherwise how do you know background the data is stored or not? This is going to be little long, so we have just typed the code here. So we are reading the highest row here, I max R, and then incrementing it by 1 and including in the list the leftmost column is the I value. So first time when you have nothing is there, only the header column is there, I will take the value 1. So 2 will start from here. And if you want that your ID should start from 1, then you better declare the I value above this one and declare it I starts from I equal to 1, then I equal to 2, like that, and give the IDs. Now let's just see. And before that, I will just paste 2 lines here. So here it is. I am just saying that T1 delete. I am just resetting the values to blank again. So whatever the name is entered and the mark is entered, I have resetted it. Now let me just run this and see. We have a header cell also. Now let me first one. Then I picked up class. Then here something I have picked up, add a record. So max R worksheet object, where somewhere I did a mistake. Okay, sorry, here I did max row I should do. Sorry. Fine, now let's run it again. Now here it is, first one. Now then I'll pick up, then the mark something, adding. ID is 2 because it started from 2 because it's the first record. So as I told you, if you want to start from 1. Now let's just go and see how is our data is. This is my student 7. I am opening. You can see here the record is added. Now let me close this and go adding one more. So here I will, otherwise let me Fine. Second one. Now class is, let's me give 5, mark is 99, let's me give something else, ID is 3, because this is going to be my next record. One more, I am writing one more. Fine, now let's 3, then female, okay, mark if I don't give, it will show me the input, show me the error, so ID 4. Like that I can continue, but this incremental number from Excel, because it is not returned by the Excel, so you have to manually, what way you want. Suppose you don't have a header column, then your ID should start from 1, then go on increasing. Like that you have to build the logic for that. I hope this is clear how we'll go for Excel. But here one point is there. I will request you watch this particular area. I will close this, come back to my code here. Here you just see if flag validation is true, and here we are adding our to Excel file. Suppose here in this 4-5 lines of code only I will change it and keep my MySQL database details here. So this same data will be going to MySQL database. Nothing else is required to be changed. So please watch that video. Already we have done that you read it next. So this is just a modular one only. Keep on changing these 4-5 lines of code. You can push the data to SQLite, or you can push the data to CSV or Excel, or if you have any other Oracle or any data source, you can push the data there. Rest of the code remains same. That is why Tkinter is a GUI interface only. It just collects the data and gives to Python. In turn, Python pass it on to different sources. I hope this concept is clear, and if you have any doubt or suggestion or any ideas, put it in the comment section. Accordingly, we'll work. And I'll request you, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon so you'll be notified as and when we add new tutorials. We frequently do that. Please share this with your friends, and thank you for watching.